ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. So welcome to our Saturday morning session. We shall continue on our journey of Bhagavad Gita Chapter 16. This is what we call Devik and Asuri Sampada. Now we'll start from verse number 7. आसुरी स्वभाव वाले मनुष्य प्रवृत्ति और निवृत्ति इन दोनों का ही नहीं समझ है, इसलिए उनमें न तो बाहर भीतर की शुद्धि है, न श्रेष्ठ आचरण है और न सत्य भाषण ही है. Now we saw that in case of Devi Sampada, actually the qualities are leading us to divinity, to divine. They are like providing us light, a guiding path through which we can reach the divine. And that is why they are called Devi Sampada or Divya Sampada. Sampada which is helping us to rise up. Now, Divya Sampada, actually one has to make an effort to rise. When we need to climb a mountain, we have to make an effort. But when we are coming down, we just slide on our own. There is not much effort required for that. So when we are sliding into Asuri Sampada, no effort is required. We automatically slide into that. In fact, we have to sometimes slow the speed. But in case of climbing up, rising up to Devik Sampada, we have to make an effort. That is why Devik Sampada is important, and it requires what we call Purusarth in Sanskrit. It requires effort on our part. Now, in these verses, from verse number 7 onwards, Lord Krishna is explaining that how a person who is suffering or who is, having asuri qualities will conduct himself. You see, when we see a person, his way of talking, his way of clothing himself, his way he eats food, or the way he walks, you can get an idea about his, what we call acharan, his conduct. And that conduct shows his inner thinking as well. So the psychologists today, based on the outer appearance of an individual, the way he lives, the way he wears his clothing, the way he eats, the way he talks, all these things they observe, and they tell us the inner thinking of that individual. Exactly in the same way, these asuri qualities, they will demonstrate the inner thinking of the individual. So if we observe these qualities particularly in a very detailed manner, we can find whether we are moving towards wrong direction or right direction, whether we are moving towards divyata, or whether we are descending towards asuri tendencies. So these are very important to understand for each one of us. Now, pravartincha nivratincha, that is pravarti and nivrati, that what should be done, why it should be done, and in what manner it should be done. That is क्या, क्यों और कैसे. क्या करें, क्यों करें, कैसे करें. Now these are the three questions which we need to answer when pravarti means you are, intending to do certain things. उसमें आपकी प्रवृत्ति हो गई। जैसे आपकी प्रवृत्ति हो गई कि आप एक व्यावसायिक कंपनी बना रहे हैं, तो उसमें आपकी प्रवृत्ति हो गई। नाउ व्हाई वी शुड डू इट, when we should do it, and in what manner we should do it, that is very important. So these questions and these tendencies, they tell you that you are moving in the right direction or wrong direction. Similarly, whether you should pursue that or not pursue, pursue is to pravarti and not to pursue is nivritti, to get out of it. There also these three questions: why we shouldn't continue, or why we should get out of it, in what manner we should get out of it, and how we get out of it. So these are the qualities of a person who has devik sampada. The person who has asuri sampada, he doesn't think about it. He has no thinking what he is doing, why he is doing, how he is doing, and whether he should stop, whether he should continue. Those tendencies are completely missing in a person who is having predominance of Asuri Sampada. So, this is the first, what we call, symptom of a person who is having Asuri Sampada. That he doesn't know what he is doing, why he is doing, how he is doing, whether he should continue to do it, whether he should get out of it. He doesn't have that idea at all. I see this in many people. Many people, actually, a large majority of people in the world, they follow the system or they follow others without thinking why they are doing it. When you go on that road, for example, you are driving. There are some people who are driving restlessly, in a very fast speed. If you ask him why are they driving fast, they don't know why they are driving fast, because they don't have any urgent engagement which they have to attend. Moreover, they don't know whether they will end up with an accident, whether they will hurt others. They have no thinking of that nature. Similarly, some people even jump the red lights. Some people park on the wrong side. When you talk to people, you find that they speak without thinking why they are speaking, what they are want to speak, what is the context. They do not understand all that. They just keep telling things or doing things without thinking about it. So this is a very important, criteria to decide whether we have uh, Devik Sampada or Asuri Sampada. If we want to develop Devik Sampada, we must know what we are doing, why we are doing, and in what manner we should do it. Hmm? The answer to kya, kyon, or kaise, that answer we should get before doing anything or before getting out of anything. A person suffering from Asuri Sampada will not think about this, but a person who is endowed with Devi Sampada will do all that. So this is very, very important criteria, and you will observe many people in this world, a large number of people, they do not know why they are doing, what they are doing, and how they are doing. They just don't know. And that means that is a symptom of Asuri Sampada. So we should not do that, because we are here to develop Devik Sampada, and therefore we should avoid these tendencies. Then the next one is, now, ne socham napi chacharo. Ne socham. Soch means you have purity inside. When you have purity inside, like a mirror is clean, you can see your face clearly. If the mirror is covered with dust, you will not see the face clearly. Exactly in the same way, if our inner self is clean, it's pure, then we will be able to see what we should do, why we should do, why we should not do, why, in what manner we should do. All these thoughts will have a clear answer if we have socham, that is the inner cleanliness. But if we don't have that inner cleanliness, then we will not get that answer clearly. So that inner cleanliness we have to develop slowly, slowly. It's a process we should develop slowly, slowly by avoiding inputs which are going to make our thinking clouded. We should not have a clouded thinking. Our thinking should be simple, as we discussed earlier. A very simple lifestyle will give you non clouded or very clear, very pure thinking. So that is what. So the Asuri Sampada people will not have that clarity. Their thinking will be clouded. And then they don't know what they are doing. Achar, vichar, their conduct, they never think about their own conduct. They keep behaving in whatever manner they feel like, because the quality of Asuri Sampada people is that they have damba and abhiman. The people who have damba and abhiman, that is, they will never understand, or they will never try to understand what they are doing, why they are doing. They justify whatever they do. In fact, they develop arguments in favor of whatever they have done. So, this is a quality which is very important if we want to avoid Asuri Sampada and develop Devik Sampada. So, we should think about our conduct, why we are doing. It is all related to Pravarti, Nivritti, Socham, and Achar. All these words are related to each other, and they basically tell you that everything we do in life, we should think about it, why we are doing, how we should do it, when we should do it. All these questions should be answered before we do it. Those people who do not raise these questions to themselves and keep doing things blindly, it means they are suffering from Asuri Sampada. They have predominance of Asuri Sampada and they are not on the right path. Now, these people, they will also nasatyam tesu vidyate, and they don't have an idea of the truth. They never speak the truth. They speak whatever required to keep their ego. That is dhamma and abhiman, the false ego and the ego. To retain that or to preserve that, they speak whatever is required to be spoken. So these are the qualities, or rather not qualities, rather the pattern of conduct of the people who are suffering from Asuri Sampada. They will not think what they want to do, what they should avoid doing. They will not have clarity, insight, the cleanliness of inner self will not be there. Their conduct will be just automatic without any thought process. So, all these plus they will not bother to speak the truth. So, these are the first, I say, group of qualities or disqualifications of a person who is suffering from demonic tendencies, Asuri Sampada, the demonic tendencies. Now, the next verse, next two verses are really very, very deep. वे आसुरी प्रकृति वाले मनुष्य कहा करते हैं कि जगत आश्रय रहित है, सर्वथा असत्य और बिना ईश्वर के अपने आप केवल स्त्री पुरुष के संयोग से उत्पन्न है, अतएव केवल काम ही इसका कारण है, इसके सिवा और क्या है. Now the Stri Purush here is not man and woman, it is male and female in any category of a species. The Sanskrit word is aparasparam sambhuta, that is the creation through cohabitation by the male and female. So the first thing is asatyam मैं प्रतिष्ठम jagdahu ranishwaram. Now these people will say that this world has come out on its own. There is no basis of its creation. This is what we call an accident. And this whole thing is an accidental creation. It is not by design. It is not based on some truth. And there is no, Ishwar. There is no supreme power behind it. Now, this is the first part of it. That they think that this world is an accidental creation. There is no supreme power or there is no design behind this world. Now, if you look at the modern scientific theories, they actually are based on this. The so-called Big Bang theory, the Charles Darwin's theory of single cell and then the cell actually taking birth accidentally through the combination of matter, and then the cell multiplying into multiple cells automatically without any design, just happening accidentally. So these are the theories of modern science which are based on matter, which are based on what we see around us, the material world, and they feel that this material world has come out of an accident, whether it is Big Bang or some other accident, and there is no guiding force, there is no supreme power, there is no design behind this whole world. So, in that sense, these scientific theories are basically asuri, they are demonic theories. They are not the theories which believe in a supreme designer, in a supreme power, in a power on which the whole world is based. So that is the modern scientific theory are actually according to Bhagavad Gita and also according to the ancient Indian writings, Upanishads and others, they are in that sense demonic. They also believe that the people or the species of life are born out of cohabitation by male and female. It is not by any design. You are born and there's no further, complications. You enjoy whatever you want to do in this life and forget because there's no past and there's no future. They naturally do not believe in the theory of karma. They do not believe in the sanskara and they do not believe in rebirth. For them, everything is an accident. My birth in this world is an accident, and therefore I don't have to think about the past and the future. I live, enjoy this life. Whatever I want to enjoy, I enjoy without any consequences. That is what they say. There would be no consequences, and therefore, the last thing is that you keep engaging yourself in fulfilling your desires. And that is also the theory of Charvak in India, that keep fulfilling your desires and enjoy and enjoy and enjoy. There's nothing in the future. You will not be born again. Your birth is an accident. Now, that kind of approach that I have come out of accident, I will be dead after that, nothing else will happen. Why I had a particular, what you call sanskar or particular kampoktama, particular nature of myself when I was born. What, my face looked different than others, my eyes look different than others, my basic behavioral pattern is different than the rest of the world. There's no explanation to that. They simply say it's part of an accident. Now, that kind of thinking is there in large part of the world. Modern science has given a new dimension to this, new, I would say, fillip to this. And therefore, you go around the world, you'll find 60, 70% people who are in this category. And they are, we can also call them Gnostic. They don't believe in a supreme power, that there is no Ishwar, there is no Paramatma, there is no guiding force, there is no design in this world. This is all accident. Now, if you believe in that, then according to Bhagavad Gita and according to my own thinking as well, we are proceeding towards demonic behavior. If we are proceeding towards, Devic, divine behavior, then we have to accept the truth that there is a design, there is a supreme power, there is a regulating force, whatever name you give doesn't matter, in this world on which all the entities come into being and all the entities live and all the entities disappear. Now, I want to delve a little bit deeper into this. Now, all these thinking which Lord Krishna had expounded 5,000 years back in time and which are more visible today, they are based on one single factor, that we are able to understand this world with our sense organs. My eyes are able to see everything, my ears can listen to everything, I can, taste everything, I can smell everything, I can touch everything. And then whatever conclusion I draw out of those sense organs, that is the perfect conclusion. Now that premise is not correct. Because even if we look at our own self, look at our power of our nostril. The power of nostril of a dog is millions times stronger than our power of nostrils. The dog can follow your smell for kilometers. We cannot. Look at the power of the eyes of a bird which can fly thousands of kilometers without any compass, any direction. Now they can see the route, they can land up on the same tree on which they landed 10 years ago. Look at the power of these, some of the marine life. They come and breed at the same place every year, going in vast ocean, thousands of kilometers, they go around the ocean. But they come back to the same point where they, did the breeding last time. How they find that? Look at the sense of their, power. So even within the human, even within the species of life, our power of eyes and ears and nose is not good enough. Like the power of nostril of a dog is much better. Power of uh, eye and direction of a bird is far better. And there are many other species which can even feel the earthquake is coming, or some natural calamity is coming. They can feel because their power of sense perception is higher in that particular aspect. That is one part. Then what do you take as standard? The power of sense organs of a woman is different than that of a man. So which one is the standard? The man's or the woman? That's another question. Second, thirdly, if somebody is born blind, he cannot see. It means, he is not capable of perceiving the what you call what we can see with the sight. It means that person, uh, uh, is not in this world, according to this theory. This person has no existence because he cannot understand the world. Some people sometimes lose memory. I met somebody yesterday who told me that he has lost part of his memory. Now, part of memory means you cannot retrace what you were before and how you moved in. Does it mean that it doesn't exist? So, all these larger questions arise when you think that your sense perception enables you to grasp everything perfectly, which is not a correct statement. Every day we are discovering new things in this world. Even if we see the same painting every day, we'll find something new every single day. You look at the sunrise every day and you will find every day you'll find something new there. Even in this case of space, the science is discovering every other day something new. And they will keep discovering it for thousands of years, even from today. So it means that our sense perception is not good enough to enable us to understand this world, while science says it is so. So that is the fundamental mistake of the modern science. They believe that sense perception is good enough, which is not true. We can't even see the air. Air is all around us, but we can't even see that air. But it is fact that the air is there. Eh? There are thousands of, or maybe millions of insects around us, but we cannot see them. In fact, in our body system, there are millions of, you know, lives, whatever name we give them, but we cannot see them. It does not mean that they don't exist. So, large part of this world, even science says, on the other hand, that only 4% of the world is known, 96% is unknown. That is a black hole. So, even science is making contradictory statement there. On the one hand, they believe that everything is known and what is not known will be known after some years, while on the other hand, the reality is, and our you know ancient saints have told that there are three varieties of things: things which are known, things which will be known in the future, and things which will never be known. That is agge, things which cannot be known. eh? Agyat can be known, but agge can never be known. Hmm? Things which are known, things which uh, could be known in the future, and things which will never be known. While in the science, they go in two categories: that things which are known and things which are not known today will be known tomorrow, day after, or maybe after 5 years or after 20 years. So they don't believe in agge. But in the deepest philosophy of our existence, there are certain things which can never be known. And the Ishwaram actually comes into that category, that it is a gate, cannot be known. That is what Mandukya Upanishad also said, that आप उसका मनन नहीं कर सकते, आप उसको देख नहीं सकते, आप उसको सुन नहीं सकते, आप उसको व्यवहार में नहीं ला सकते, आप उसको डिस्क्राइब नहीं कर सकते. That is the अज्ञेय category, the category which will never be known. So this is a very deep statement here by Lord Krishna, that those people who believe that whole world is known to them and the world is regenerating through the what you call male female interaction, and there is no design in this world, those people are completely mistaken. Those people are in the demonic direction. They can never attain the divine knowledge, or they can never be in the path of divinity. So this is what Lord Krishna has said in verse number 8. And we will find a large number of people with so-called modern thinking, the so-called education, actually they are falling into this category. They are becoming more and more demonic. And this is also true if you look at the people who are more and more educated today, and they are more and more disturbed. Their real wisdom is less and less. Maybe their knowledge of a particular matter, subject matter, is fine, but it doesn't actually help them in resolving the fundamental questions of our existence. Who am I? Why am I? What am I supposed to do? What is, the method which will lead me to the right direction in this life? All those issues are not part of their education at all. So, in that sense, that modern education is actually causing more and more disturbance, more and more confusion, more and more unrest in the society, and also more and more mental distress. There was a time, we thought, even in my lifetime, when I was a young boy, people used to tell me that, once we have education all over the world, the education becomes all pervasive, all the ills in the society will disappear. But in fact, now the education has increased tremendously. Even in our country, we have almost 72, 73% literacy rate, and more people are going to school and higher education today. But at the same time, you can also find the crime rate is increasing, mental distress is increasing, social unrest is increasing, family unrest is increasing. All these are happening because we are moving in the demonic direction. The so called education of today is not leading us to the right direction. So, this is what I thought I'll explain in this verse here. Then let's take verse number 9. इस मिथ्या ज्ञान का अवलंबन करके जिनका स्वभाव नष्ट हो गया है और जिनकी बुद्धि मंद है, वे सबका अपकार करने वाले क्रूर कर्मी मनुष्य केवल जगत के नाश करने के लिए ही समर्थ होते हैं. Now, this is a very strong language which Lord Krishna doesn't use very often. Now, here he is saying the Sanskrit word is nastatmano alpa buddhaya. That these people who have this kind of thinking, which has been explained in previous verse number 8, those people are destroying their own self. Nast atmano. They are destroying their inner self because they do not know the body is only a clothing. The self is the one which is keeping us here. And that self they do not understand because they feel that this world is only material world. The body is the only one which is in existence, not the power behind the body. And we can feel it when we do our meditation. We can see our body in a different fashion because there's a power. What power enables you to see that? Because that power of Atma, that power of consciousness, which can see your body, you can, sitting right here, you can go in your childhood, you can go in your adulthood, you can go 10 years back, you can go 5 years back, and you can be present today. All that is possible because that consciousness inside us, on which this body is constructed, that consciousness enables us to do that. But these demonic people do not give attention to that reality. And that is why they are destroying nastatmano. They are destroying their own self because they are not giving attention to that self. And then alp buddha, unki buddhi, their thinking, their pragya, their mental capability is very limited. Alpa buddha, very limited. Because of that, the limited because they only see the material world as a reality and the whole existence as a coincidence or an accident, not as by design. They do not see any power behind it. For example, we see a tree. Now, the tree is standing on certain roots which are not visible. Now, if the roots are not there, there cannot be any tree. Similarly, this world cannot be in existence without those roots. Those roots have to be understood. And those roots are not understood by these demonic people. They feel whatever is visible is in existence, not the roots. So this is where they do a mistake. And even further down from the roots, you have to go to the seed, because roots you can even see by digging the earth, you can see some part of the roots. But if you look at the seed, in the seed there are no roots, there are no leaves, there are no branches, there are no fruit, no flower, nothing is there. But it comes out of that. Everything comes out of that. Now that is, the totality of knowledge. To understand the seed, to understand, as we call our sthul sarir, and then we call suksham sarir, and we call karan sarir. So to understand that karan sarir, why we have come into existence here, that is the deep knowledge. And those people who do not think about the suksham sarir and karan sarir and only think about the sthul sarir, they are demonic in nature. That is what Lord Krishna is explaining. And these people are destroying their own self, and their knowledge is very, very limited, confined only to the manifest world. And then he has gone and saying that these people are actually becoming the cause of destruction of others. So, in that sense, the modern theories of science regarding our existence, regarding the conduct of this world, they are really demonic and they are leading us to destruction, and which is true. Today, because of these theories and these inventions, we are going to approach the biggest natural disaster, which is called climate change in the modern language, which will ultimately overtake and destroy the whole life in whatever form it exists. So we are actually leading in that direction, and that is what we call Jagat ka nash karne wale hain. So we are, these theories and these kind of education, these kind of conduct is ultimately leading to the destruction of this world, leading to the destruction of life on this world. This is what is going to happen if we continue on this path. If we actually believe in a hidden power, in a power which is not manifest, non-manifest power behind this world, and then we start respecting that power, and we do not unnecessarily consume more and more and more to fulfill our desires every other day, then we will be in the right direction. But today we are in a race to fulfill our desires, which will come in the verses subsequently. We are on that path, and that path is destroying our mind, destroying our peace, and destroying the physical world around us. So this is what Lord Krishna is saying, that these kind of people are becoming the cause of destruction of the world. This kind of wording is very strong, and this is absolutely true in my view, because we are, because of this thinking which is expressed in verse number 8, our whole philosophy of life is totally materialistic. Our philosophy of life is just to enjoy, to more, consume more and more, fulfill your desires, whatever the desires may be. And then those kind of behavior will lead to the destruction of the world. So these two verses, verse number 8 and 9, they actually explain the world which is existing particularly after the industrial revolution till today. And this world is leading to destruction. And this is going to happen sooner or later, because we might feel that it is 200 years of time, But 200 years of time in the life of a world or life of this universe is not even a drop in the ocean. It's just nothing. So our tendencies are going towards that. So don't believe into these philosophies that the whole world is running on its own, that it's an accident, and the male and female cohabitation is giving birth to the next generations, and there is no design, there is no power, there is no power subsisting this world. If we have that kind of thinking, then we are clearly in the demonic path. And then Lord Krishna says that such people are actually Krur Karmi. They are demonic people, and they are causing destruction of the world. So I think we don't want to fall into that category, certainly. So let us not have that kind of thinking. And those who are promoting this thinking, we should tell them that this is not the correct thinking. You have come into this existence. You have certain limited powers within your you know body, whether it is sense organs or whether it is thinking of your mind and intellect, but that is not enough for us to understand this universe, its origin, its functioning. All that is not enough. And if we presume that that is you know giving us the perfect knowledge, then obviously we are in the demonic side. So this is what I would end up today, because verse number 10 onwards, he is talking about the desires, the consuming, the consumption, how we keep having more and more desires, and how we keep promoting them because of this kind of thinking, which is there in verse number 8 and to some extent verse number 7. But verse number 8 is the main, verse which describe the demonic thinking. So, in that sense, let us uh, think about our own behavior. Let us analyze our behavior. Let us see whether we are also in the path of the so called modern thinking, where everything is accidental based on the Big Bang theory or Charles Darwin's uh, you know, thinking that somehow one cell was created from a chemical, combination. All those thinking are not leading us in the right direction. They are demonic thinking, and there is a power behind this world which runs this world, and there is a design of the Supreme, and that is why I am Gauri Shankar and somebody else is Lalit or Dinesh or Rajesh, and they are all different in their appearance, of course, but also in their thinking process, in their behavior, in their sanskaras, what they brought. Their software is different, and that is applicable to every single individual in the world. If this concept were to be true, then why some people are born as beggars and some people are born in the palaces? There is no reason behind that. If we go by this concept of modern science of chapter verse number 8, so I think this is very flawed knowledge, and we should not get into that flawed knowledge. This is what Lord Krishna has said. Let us think about it, and let us also tell others that this is absolutely. A lot of people who think in that way. I meet many people who give you very clear examples. You say, what is life? You don't know what you were before, whether you will be born again. This is an accident that you are here, and then you will be dead. So enjoy your life, whatever. There are many people who follow Charvak's theory. Not many, but a large majority, actually, I would say. And then the modern science has given a new, I would say, promotion or fillip or, new push to this theory. And that theory has become what we call modern concept of life. That is why A lot of people today are totally in consumerism. They are chasing their desires one after another and still getting into more and more distress and unhappy because these are all demonic thinking, demonic path, which is not good for us. So I would conclude today here, and then we'll continue next time on the further, verses of this chapter. If you have any questions, any observations, you are most welcome. Thank you.